لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أبا أمامة ما لي أراك جالسا في المسجد. Oh Abu Umama, why are you sitting in the masjid in a time that is not salah? We'll continue the talk, and we can talk so much about this particular phrase, jalisan fil masjid. What are you doing in the masjid? Oh Abu Umama, why aren't you at work? Women sit at home. True men go to work. They don't sit and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when there is a time to go to work. You're not supposed to waste your family. You're not supposed to extend your hand and ask for help. You're a man. You need to go to work. This is not time for someone to be sitting in the masjid, not going to work. So it's either your day off or there is an issue. This is how you understand it. Men go to work. Women sit at home. And if you sit in the masjid worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you're supposed to be doing work, you're not doing good. Some people think when you are sitting and worshiping and doing all that, mashallah, mashallah. It's not mashallah, mashallah. When you have to go to work, you got to go to work. Work is ibadah.
Retired people.
Recite Aisha.
Retired.
Retired, brother, you're an exception. Exception have no rules. Retired. Abu Umama wasn't retired. Otherwise the Prophet ﷺ would know that. Even retired people, brother, these days they go to work. Go to Walmart, you'll find out. Because really, if you want to rest, get tired. That's the rule. Going to work is rest for a man. ما لي أراك جالسا في المسجد. عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه رأى رجلا جالسا يقرأ القرآن. He saw a man sitting reading the Quran. Look what he told him. إنما أنزل هذا القرآن لتعمل به فاتخذت قراءته عملا. This Quran is revealed so you can act upon it. And you made recitation of the Quran your job. And it's not your job to just sit and recite Quran. Your job is to recite the Quran and act on what's in the Quran. And what's the Quran saying? هو الذي جعل لكم الأرض ذلولا فامشوا في مناكبها وكلوا من رزقه. Focus on فامشوا في مناكبها. He made this land, this earth, subjugated for your benefit. So go and work. اعملوا آل داود شكرا وقليل من عبادي الشكور. Oh, family of Dawood, act upon what you are supposed to do and be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, الصديق رضي الله عنه قال إن لله عملا في النهار لا يقبله في الليل. وإن لله عملا في الليل لا يقبله بالنهار. لا يقبل الله سبحانه وتعالى صلاة الظهر والعصر منك بعد المغرب. أنا عارف راح واحد يجينا ويقول يقول لك قضاء، في شيء اسمه قضاء. الصلاة في وقتها. إن الصلاة كانت على المؤمنين كتابا موقوتا. من فاتته صلاة أو نسيها فهي حين يذكرها. ليس لها يعني قضاء إلا إذا نمت عن صلاة أو نسيت الصلاة. If you forget the salah or you sleep, you fall asleep and you don't wake up, then the time you wake up is the time for salah. And that is not qada, because the Prophet ﷺ said this is the time for it. So, action of the day needs to be done in the day, or ibadat. And ibadat of the night, done at night. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it that way. What I want to get from the statement and elaborate on ما لي أراك جالسا في المسجد, I want to focus on laziness. Laziness. A lot of people sit in the masjid lazy. He doesn't work, he doesn't work hard, he doesn't really look for more work or better job or improve his life, and think by connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not acting upon what he's supposed to do, thinks that this is something good and things are going to get better for him. That's called lazy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't want you to do that. He wants you to go apply for the job, not to just come and keep reading Quran or keep praying and waiting for the next salah, and you are not applying for a job, you're not looking for a job, you're not trying to improve your life, you're not helping the family, and thinking that something is good. Because there was an issue one time, two brothers, one is working and one is seeking knowledge. And the one who's working is spending on the one seeking knowledge. So the one who's working got tired of it. So he went to complain to the Prophet ﷺ. Seeking knowledge from where? From the Prophet ﷺ. He said, "O Prophet of Allah, I go to work and my brother just comes to your khatira and basically I'm the one who's working and he needs to go get a job." What did he tell him? قال لعلك ترزق به. He said, maybe you have a job because of him. This hadith sounds contradicting to our topic, but it's not, because this is seeking knowledge. This is different. You can go and seek knowledge if someone is taking care of you. If you have your family or someone else want to sponsor you, you can do that, because there's nothing that tops seeking knowledge. Extra hasanat for that. This is not our topic. Kasal. What are the negatives of the kasal? Consequences of the kasal. Number one, sufficient that the Prophet ﷺ in the dua that he taught Abu Umama, what did he say? Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-kasal, al-ajzi wal-kasal. First thing he told him, seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from being lazy. And when you leave your job and start reading and coming, and you get used to sitting, and that is laziness. So number one, you become lazy not just for work, but even for ibadat. Because ibadat here, it's not real. You don't understand what ibadat is. If you understand what ibadat is, you go to work. So you become lazy. The worst kind of laziness is to be lazy when you need to go to prayer. There was one time we're sitting, some people play, and we want to go pray. Yelling and screaming and people having fun and everything. When they heard Allahu Akbar, another one pushing, let's go. So they came. As soon, the one who was yelling so much, as soon as he went Allahu Akbar, yawning after yawning after yawning, as if he's dying to sleep. I'm talking seconds between the yelling and the prayer. That is the worst kind of laziness. That's when the shaitan comes to you and wants you to yawn and wants you to be lazy, because he doesn't want you to pray. He doesn't want you to be attentive. In fact, the Prophet ﷺ told us, if you do an extra prayer when you are sleepy, don't even pray extra. Go sleep so you know what you're doing. But this is fard, this is not just a prayer. So becoming lazy from the prayer, this is horrible. The prayer itself, to become هم زي ما بيقولوها, you worry so much, oh my God, already Asr. How many of you youngsters complain? Nobody? You don't complain, brother, about Asr and Dhuhr? When Asr comes, you're happy? You don't say, some of them, they delay the prayer, dhuhr, until asr. As soon as you finish from dhuhr, asr comes. It becomes a chore, it becomes too much. Because now you just prayed, how many you prayed? 4 or 8? 4, exactly. You're supposed to pray 8. 2 sunnah and 4 fard and 2 sunnah. Once you do those, you're going to get up and pray 4 for asr. It's a lot of work, even for a good person. That's why when you give the time between them, dhuhr to asr, 4 or 5 hours, you have time to go. So being lazy for the salah, or seeing that the salah is difficult for you, this is a horrible thing to do. Second one, shuhur bil kasla. You feel when you're lazy, your heart becomes hard. Right now I'm talking. How are you affected? You heard the Quran recited. Did it touch your heart, or you continue playing with your iPhone? Yeah, some people pray. Some people answer the phone in the prayer. I personally heard it. You know what he said? I'm in the prayer, I'll call you back. And continued the prayer, mashallah. His salah is accepted. In the prayer. So he told him, I'm praying, mashallah. So some people clicking and adjusting the volume, and some people check their messages in the prayer. Yeah, they put the phone in the front of them, the screen is there. Alhamdulillah, oh my God. Somebody, because put the phone away, turn it off, don't put it there, flip it over. Habibi Shaitan plays and finds ways. And when you are distracted, it takes a long time for you to connect again. That's why we're sitting here now. If the brother comes and he says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, what do you all do? You forget me. And you turn your head to see who is that wonderful person who said Assalamu alaikum. Now you're all competing for وَإِذَا حُيِّيتُمْ بِتَحِيَّةٍ وَعَلَيْكُمْ السَّلَامُ وَرَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ وَبَرَكَاتُهُ. Who is this guy talking, Now, to get you back where we were is another life. That's why you don't say Assalamu alaikum when you're coming to a gathering, people are sitting. Yes, you say Assalamu alaikum, but this is not the place for it. You come and you sit silently and you do a different time. That's why the Prophet ﷺ used to enter the house and people are asleep and people are awake. كان صلى الله عليه وسلم عندما يسلم بصوت يسمعه غير النائم ولا يوقظ النائم. A voice that if you are sitting awake, you hear it. But if you are asleep, it doesn't wake you up. Imagine. And some people you find at the Jumu'ah prayer, they come as loud as possible. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. And then they get angry because nobody raises his voice when saying alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So this is misunderstanding. We're supposed to say Assalamu alaikum, but there are places and there are ways and there are manners. This is like enjoining good and forbidding evil. Some people, it's better for them to not enjoy good and forbid evil, because when they enjoy good, they're really enjoying evil, and when they forbid evil, they are really forbidding or bringing more evil. So some people, it's nice if they be quiet. I think they get more rewards. Why? Because they don't know how to enjoy good and forbid evil. So don't be lazy and don't find that the ibadat hard on you, and make sure your heart is affected. Why your heart cannot get affected? Sins. كلا بل ران على قلوبهم ما كانوا يكسبون. لو نظرنا إلى هذه الآية أتت بعد قوله سبحانه وتعالى أساطير الأولين. إذا تتلى عليهم آياتنا قال أساطير إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا قال أساطير الأولين. When you recite the Quran on them, they say, oh, this is the tales of the past. He doesn't believe in it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, the fact is, not this is the tales of the past, or this is not revelation. Their heart has so much sins to the point, the sins, because every time you sin, you get a black dot in your heart. If you repent, it cleans it. If you don't, and you get more sins, it keeps coming until it covers the heart. What does happen? After that, what happens? Any message, anything you hear, it doesn't penetrate your heart. It's like, ittaqillah. What does that mean? Quran, oh yeah, okay. You'll be reading and you'll be fixing your tie and you'll be fixing your shirt and pulling your pants and doing everything. And the guy is reciting, saying it's only Quran. Because you have so much sins, it keeps you away from getting affected. حسن البصري قال معنى الران قال هو الذنب على الذنب حتى يعمى القلب. Sin over sin makes your heart blind. That's what Al-Hasan al-Basri said. So every time you sin, you repent. عدم استشعار المسؤولية. When you are lazy, you don't feel the responsibility. Your children are hungry, your wife needs life, and you are just lazy. You have a job, you're not willing to improve it, you're not willing to look for a better job, you're not willing to put extra hours, you're not willing to do anything. So you become so lazy, and that is ruining for the family and for actually even the amana. If someone entrusted you with something, you don't take care of it. It's like someone tells you, here's my car, I'm going overseas, you can use it. You find the person using it and not caring for it and not lazy. You put him in a responsibility in charge of something, too lazy, doesn't really want to take care of that because of laziness. إِنَّا عَرَضْنَا الْأَمَانَ عَلَى السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَالْجِبَالِ فَأَبَيْنَ أَن يَحْمِلْنَهَا وَأَشْفَقْنَ مِنْهَا. شوف, amana, the trust, which is the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, presented to sky, heavens, earth, and mountains. They understood it needs a lot of work. And they understood it's an amana. I have to take care of it. No laziness there. They're scared that they cannot fulfill it. But the human being said, I'll take care of it. And how many go to Jannah? 999 go to hell, and one goes to Jannah. Life makes you wonder, and it makes you scared. When you think about this, and you think, وَمَا يُؤْمِنُ أَكْثَرُهُمْ بِاللَّهِ إِلَّا وَهُمْ مُشْرِكُونَ, that the majority of people kuffar, and alhamdulillah, we are happy that we are Muslim, but at the same time it's scary. Am I going to be one of those few? That's something for us to reflect upon. كثرة الكلام دون فائدة. You find people when they're lazy, they like to talk too much. And what do they talk about? The past. Wallahi, and especially when they talk to the youth. When I was your age, what happened to you now? Just like one person came and he said, Sheikh, I told him, I was encouraging him to pray. He doesn't pray. Allah, Sheikh, my dad is the Imam, and mentioned some country in Jordan. And my dad is such and such, and I used to be hamamat al-masjid, the pigeon of the masjid. And now, what? The devil of the masjid? Who cares about your past? And that's why sometimes the youth don't connect here, neither with their parents nor with the sheikh. Because they're talking about the past, and they're not living that past, and they cannot, astaghfirullah, this is, when you talk about something, this is to them like ghaib, unseen. You're talking about things they cannot imagine. I remember my grandmother, when the first time we told her that they landed on the moon, she chased us with a stick. Astaghfirullah. For her, going to the moon is astaghfirullah like kufr. This is something only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do. So you come and you talk about something in the past, the children cannot relate to that. For those of us who old enough to remember before or remember now, look at the technology and how we used to, it's a blessing for us, but it's not for the children, so you don't connect with that. So don't talk and praise, or the lazy people start to talk about their past, and there's no benefit in it. The worst one is شعور بالفراغ الروحي. When you are lazy, you're made out of body, brain, and spirit. And each one has to be taken care of. Your body, you have to exercise, and you have to eat, and you have to do this and that to stay alive. And your mind, you gotta read, you gotta think, you gotta reflect. Your spirit, you gotta relax, you gotta feel serenity, you gotta connect to something above the human, above material, above the human. You gotta connect with superpower, Allah subhanahu. If you don't, it doesn't matter. That's why you're traveling? Vacation. Why you going there? To relax. Everybody is looking for serenity and relaxation on that, because if you're not connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're not, the spirit is not going to get it. The satisfaction of the spirit in ibadah, in worship, in serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يعني الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم شو قال هذه الصلاة؟ أرحنا بها يا بلال. Oh Bilal, we're so tired. Call adhan. Let's rest. Now when we pray, we say, now I rest. Not because the prayer made you rest, because you got rid of the prayer and it's over with. So, ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. You want to relax? You remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you're so full physically, satisfied, not hungry, lots of money, every desire is fulfilled, but your spirit is hungry, it's not connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, impossible to have that serenity. And laziness does that. And finally, you don't want to do anything positive. Nothing. You don't want to accept any responsibility. Someone will ask you to join a group or to come and do something. I don't like, to promise and not fulfill. Now you become so righteous, mashallah. You don't want to promise. Actually, you're too lazy to commit to the work. So this is a different way of saying, I don't want nothing to do with work. And they start looking at the negativity of other people, shortcoming of other people. The administration is such and such. This person has to do this and that person. And you always look at people. If they do this, everything will be good. Where are you? Where do you fit? What are you doing? How much you're doing? Are you changing anything? Are you improving anything? The fact is no. But because you feel guilty inside and you know it, you got to throw the burden on someone else. Even if you are right, you're not doing anything about it. It's just talk. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لِمَ تَقُولُونَ مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. Why do you say things that you don't do? You're complaining about them. Go do it. And obviously, if I say you can't do the job, that means I can do it. Or I can get someone else to do it better than you, yet I'm not doing anything. So we get all of this. This is like the hypocrites. What did they say to the believers in the Battle of Tabuk? قالوا لا تنفروا في الحرب. You're going to go now, it's so hot and heat, wait until Asr. It's like he cares for you. What was the answer? قُلْ نَارُ جَهَنَّمَ أَشَدُّ حَرًّا لَوْ كَانُوا يَفْقَهُونَ. If they only understand, hellfire is worse than this. Meaning, they are living in the heat of the day so they can get the coolness of the hereafter. And you are telling them to not go in the heat, and you're going to burn in worse heat the day of judgment. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يحفظنا وإياكم من الكسل ومن النفاق ومن سوء الأخلاق. آمين يا رب العالمين. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.